Git.scm.com is the website where you want to go and get your software. Unix and Mac, well, Mac is basically another Unix flavor. So depending on which flavor of Mac, Unix that you're using, it'll be a DNF or apt install git all. For Mac OS. You can either download an installer, but if you have brew installed, then all you gotta do, and you should have brew installed if you're using Mac. So brew install git, and it's already installed on my machine, so it's just gonna fail. So next thing we're going to do is create a Git account or a version control account. GitHub is the most popular one, Bitbucket is another one, GitLab is another one. I have used both Bitbucket and GitHub, and I don't really prefer or not prefer one way or the other. GitHub got acquired by Microsoft, so some people are saying maybe it'll get paid in the future. It's not a big deal, okay? So github.com is where I have created my account. In the process of creating one is basically you say sign up. I'm going to come up with iJack by JJJ something. It's just for showing stuff, and this is odds at odds.us. Okay, and password, I have no idea what it would be. Then it'll give you send occasional, then you have a puzzle that you need to solve. Done. And next select a plan. Okay, now you just gotta click 0, and that's it, guys. Now this is going to ask you some nonsense questions, which you don't really have to answer, and you can just come here, and it take you. Well, you have to verify your email address, and once that is done, then that's going to take you to this page. Yeah, I'm on sign up page. I want to be on sign in page. So I have been creating a bunch of repositories, and I am going to create a new one. Creating the account is easy, but working with the Git in the very beginning can be a little confusing. So let's create a new repository. Advat612 is my account name. If you remember this diagram from the last chapter, the black part, which is basically the web repository, that's what we're creating now in the web. But basically, we created a free account at GitHub, and that's where we're going to create this web repository. So Killer Joe is our repo name. Description created for all my killer students. Okay, you can make it public or you can make it private. I'm going to make it private. Initialize this with a README file. Just click that for now if you don't know anything about this, and we'll get to it later on. Now, the gitignore file is very important, and we are going to use the gitignore file for Terraform. Once again, we'll get to it when we actually start working with Terraform. But right now, we're just going to create a repository for our code. Then we need to create a link between the remote or web repository to our local repository, and basically it's going to be created in one of your local directories, and that's what the next steps are for.